Welcome to the TRIDENTCast. We got tricks and treats. We got all the fellas who want to eat these sweets. Oh, theme song.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Tallhead. Welcome to the spookiest, craziest. Now I know what Brian feels like every time he has to put his hair back reflexively.
Right.
How do you stop this from getting in your mouth like constantly?
You don't. It happens. The best is though when you inhale and then you get like a couple strands like all the way back down your throat.
I'm Brian.
And it kind of gags you.
Yeah, and then
really
you like find your hair in like the most operative places, like
Yeah.
they should not be.
Yeah.
Nooks and crannies.
Yeah, nooks and crannies.
Both nooks and crannies.
Right.
Yeah.
And grannies.
And ooh.
Crannies.
So anyway, welcome to our yearly tradition, our spooktacular, our SPOOKYCAST. This is the spookiest, most metal podcast on the face of the planet.
A black cat.
Oh my god.
And a hammer.
Sniffing a hammer.
Hammer.
Can't make this shit up.
Square hammer.
That's right. So yes, we are Lords of the Trident. It has been roughly a month since last we talked. Let me see if I can get this candelabra. Oh, now it's on and spooky. Roughly a month since last we talked. It is almost Halloween, and tomorrow we are. Oh, be careful with that. It's dry. Be careful. And tomorrow we're playing at the High Noon Saloon.
Yeah, when it fuses together, it quits.
That's when it stops. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're playing at the High Noon Saloon. We're playing a 2-hour set right before Guar. So that's what we're doing, and we're really excited about it. And I'm gonna take this weird hair off because.
Yeah, me too. Nope.
Oh god.
Yeah, rip.
Speaking of that show, Josh, you guys, well, he's doing merch for us tomorrow, but he's an electrician, and he's working at the Sylvie.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, he's been in kind of the venue a few times, but he was talking to like some of the security guards that are there,
Yeah.
and they're like preparing for this Guar show.
Yeah.
Apparently the entire stage is like covered in plastic.
Mhm.
The barriers are covered in plastic. And they're like, yeah, we're going to try to get ponchos tomorrow so that we don't get covered in like their red blood jizz.
Yeah. From what I've heard with the Guar show, you have to they have to take and like plastic and duct tape down the entire venue.
Yeah.
Because they just shoot out blood everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I remember seeing Guar at the Majestic. So for the people watching, the Sylvie is a brand new. Yeah, you can take that out.
Oh yeah.
The Sylvie is a brand new venue here in Madison. Just built. It is a 2,500 person capacity venue. So it's rather big, and I think what they're trying to. It's Frank Productions built it, and I think what they're trying to do is kind of steal some of the acts coming in to the rave in Milwaukee, and then bring them into Madison instead, which I am all for. I'm perfectly fine for that. A, less driving, and B, like, let's just face it. Parking at the rave sucks. The rave in general, not that great of a venue. The sound's kind of meh. It can be hit or miss depending on who's running sound. It's just a real kind of a crapshoot.
The Sylvie seems way more like
modern,
personal and modern, and like you can get way more up close at the Sylvie. It seems like.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we are not playing at the Sylvie, but Guar is. We are playing the Guar pre-show tomorrow. By the time you see this, we'll probably have already played that. So apologies for that. But yeah, that always happens at the end of the dry ice, and then I have to like noise reduct the.
Kind of cool though.
Yeah. So
Skull!
Yeah, skull.
So if you were to break all the ice into smaller pieces, would it again start foaming?
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, yeah. I mean, without getting too involved.
Speaking of Skull, we just played Don't Fall in the Meat Hall, which is a game by our friends Viking Nerds. They sent it to us for free and had us play it because we are... You break it with your beer? Oh, yeah, that works. As a band that is sponsored by a mead hall, we thought Don't Fall in the Mead Hall would be a great game to play, and it was super fun.
Yeah.
Check it out. It should be up on our YouTube channel probably before you see this. And before I forget, thanks to our sponsors, Wheelhouse Whiskey, Boss Mead, Rocker Vodka, and SKB Cases, baby. Woo!
Yeah. I would say Don't Fall in the Mead Hall.
Yeah.
It's pretty light. It's not a heavy strategy game or anything like that.
And it can also double as a really good drinking game.
And it absolutely doubles as a good drinking game. And it really only takes about 10 minutes to learn, maybe even less. A nice casual game. If you want like a heavy strategy game, this is not it. But just for a fun, cool. The skull cards are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Which you have to give toasts, and if you can't think of what you want to toast to, there's some really good recommendations on the skull cards. So.
Yeah. So this right here may be the spookiest part of the SPOOKYCAST. Dollar store candy.
Yeah.
How long has it been sitting on the shelves? Where in China is it from?
Bag
Disappointed
of boogers.
when we put it in our mouths.
Yeah.
Willie hears you. Willie don't care.
This one's like pumpkin spice.
Shitty Reese's.
Shitty Reese's.
C minus grade Reese's.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a disappointing
we were
mouthfeel.
disappointed in that as well. Did you say disappointing mouthfeel?
Yep, I did. That is a disappointing mouthfeel.
Fanger used dollar store candy.
Yep.
Go.
Speaking of Fang reviews, a lot of people, this is my favorite time of year for beer, right? Hands down, my favorite time. You got the pumpkin ales, you got the stouts, you got the Oktoberfest, you got the Marzens, you got anything that's chewy and rich and aged in a bourbon barrel and made with like coffee and peat and death. Like you got it. It's amazing. And so right now I'm
totally correct. Yeah.
I'm drinking the Pumpkin Ale by Dogfish Head, which is one of my favorite actually go-to pumpkin ales. And you are trying the
Potosi Stingy Jack Pumpkin Ale, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Cheers. Scar.
There's this really good beer called Pumpkin.
Yeah.
Out of Southern Tier
Yep.
Brewing.
I've had it.
That is probably the best pumpkin beer I've ever had.
I think
it's like 11%.
I think it's in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
So maybe we should do. Maybe I'm actually done through the end of the year with Fangs Metal Beer Club, but I think we can probably pull out a few during this fall season and maybe have some ready for next year, or maybe we'll do a one-off episode, like spooky Fangs Metal Beer Club, Fangs Metal Spooky Club.
Man, I don't want October to be over. It's like my favorite month of the year.
October is the best. Okay.
It flew by.
Totally
It did, and like multiple days in September it was like 85 degrees, so like it only just recently started feeling like fall.
Yeah. For me personally, October is hands down my favorite month of the year. It's my birthday. A, B, Halloween. Come on, Halloween's the best holiday. Get out of here, Christmas. Say goodbye, Thanksgiving. Fuck you, vernal equinox. Halloween, baby.
Sweetest day.
I think also all holidays have become commercialized to an extent, but at least with Halloween, it's not like Thanksgiving where you have to sit down and
With your family?
Yeah. Well, no, there's always
Yes.
like a racist uncle or something.
That's true.
And it's not like Christmas where you feel that pressure to get someone a gift or whatnot. But Halloween, the worst you get is, some slutty, some naughty something version outfits. And
you know
that's
what?
not so bad.
Disappointing Reese's.
Yeah, disappointing Reese's.
Yeah,
Speaking of
Reese's.
that, I want to hear people's. Okay, obviously the best part of Halloween is going out and getting free candy all across the neighborhood. When you were a kid, I had a route mapped. I'm sure everybody kind of had a mental route mapped out for this. What is the best Halloween candy in your opinion, and what is the worst Halloween candy in your opinion? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, you go first.
Best is Twix.
Ooh.
Least best is fucking wax sculpture corn.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like the candy corn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably just make it out of wax sculptures of like George W. Bush or something.
Those and like those pumpkins too.
Oh yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It's tough. I'm gonna go off what I used to love. I used to love like dots and or like the mini Twizzlers.
Yeah.
Because like they're different than all the other Twizzlers. Like those two that you have to peel apart. Those are always my favorite. But I hate almond joys and moms. So those are the worst.
Me too. Yeah.
Good call.
Dude, send them my way. I'll
Sometimes
take
you
all
feel
those.
like a nut. Sometimes you're Brian.
Yep. I am apparently Mr. Coconut in the band.
Yeah. All right, Brian. So Almond Joy is your favorite?
I love those. I mean, as a kid, I was always just a straight up kind of Snickers Milky Way type. I inevitably, for whatever reason, always saved, and I guess you could say Twix too. Like those are the three that, as I ate through the different things, those were inevitably what I always saved for last. And I like the dots too, but what I remember dots from is always having them at the movie theater.
Okay.
I never got them for Halloween too much, but I
remember,
always
the
had them
little
at the
tiny
movies.
Boxes, so you get
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 of them in there.
For least favorite, there were little things called Bit-O Honey.
Oh
that I thought
yeah.
were really gross.
They're hard to they're hard to chew too. They
Yeah.
just take forever.
Not wild about those.
Yeah.
That's what I got off the top of my head.
All right, Aki.
Boy, I surprised to say, but Twix is probably my favorite too.
Wow. Double Twix.
I mean, I like Twix, Kit Kat, Three Musketeers. I mean, any of those ones have a nice textural, like a lot of different textures or whatnot. But Twix has had that crunch
Yeah.
that I really appreciated. Some people mentioned some good, terrible ones, including those candy corn stuff. I really hated those cylindrical things that were like a bunch of pellets that were like dry and shitty tasting, and it came in like a plastic.
The chocolate.
Smarties?
No, not Smarties.
Like the different, they're like little
the
chocolate
different colors
things.
or whatnot.
Oh, I like those actually.
Yeah, I like those too.
What are they
Like
called?
little mini malted milk balls or something?
No, this is the
No,
one
they
where
were
it's like
different.
a small thin wrap, and it was like
And then you could just be
different colored
yeah.
hard candy.
candy
since I
balls.
really didn't like those.
They were kind of malted, but what are they called? Okay, podcast question of the week. What the hell is that called? Email us, lordsofthetrident@gmail.com.
Despite like the TV shows and movies joking about it, I never ended up. I never had to deal with getting raisins. Like, it's a big thing in like movies, sitcoms. Mom being like, "We're going to hand out raisins this year" or whatnot, and I never had a house that gave me raisins. I guess I lucked out, but
Yeah.
Tastes just like raisins.
For me, my number one, I think, was always Milky Way, and I'll tell you why. You get pretty much everything that you want in a bar, minus the peanuts, and I think the reason why I think minus the peanuts is good is because I think, like, intrinsically, a Snickers bar with, like, peanuts, right, that'll fill you up, and as a kid with, like, 50 pounds of candy, you want to be able to go through like 7, 8, 9
Pounds
at a time.
Yeah.
And those peanuts are kind of, they got the protein in them. They'll fill up your stomach and they'll just kind of make you feel full. Milky Way, though, is everything that Snickers was.
no substance at all.
With no peanut. And then you just eat and eat and eat and eat and you're all good.
Milky Way has got a richness and a flavor about it that really is not duplicated in. It's not duplicated in any other bar.
I love nougat. I just want to eat straight nougat for life.
That's what Three Musketeers are.
Well, yeah, Three Musketeers, but it's got chocolate on it. I'm saying just straight up.
Straight
nougat.
But the nougat in Milky Way is different and better than in Three Musketeers.
I would agree.
Didn't they make a Milky Way that was just straight nougat? Well, with chocolate on it?
I'm sure they did once upon a time.
Yeah.
Seems
They had
like something that they should have done.
They had like a Milky Way dark
Yeah, it's
point.
just
Midnight.
Those were
Midnight.
okay.
Milky Way Midnight.
I was like, that was okay, but can't beat the original, man.
It's interesting because I feel like no one I know likes Milky Way, so I just thought they were like the bad candy.
No, I love
interesting to hear you guys.
For me, it's like, it's really rich. So I'm good for like usually like a half a bar.
It's like bam, 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 bam,
and then it's like, okay, that's enough, because after a while now it's too rich and it's like not enjoyable anymore.
Right.
But I guess that's called adult versus kid taste buds.
Yep.
Ty's argument is that you can eat 7 pounds at a time.
Right. I will say my favorite candy never came in fun size, in the small size, in the Halloween size. But Aki,
sorry, I wanted my haunted.
You have to stop.
you
People are leaving.
people are leaving. my favorite candy that never came in fun size, whatchamacallit.
That was really good too.
Because that had everything, but you never got a small size of that. And so like the holy grail would be like some house out there that's giving out full size whatchamacallits. You know, go to the doctor's houses that give the full size.
I was gonna say that's a significant investment.
Oh, it totally is.
Candy.
Absolutely.
What is a whatchamacallit?
A whatchamacallit? It's got caramel. It's got
a wafer layer. I
think.
Like
a wafer layer. It's got Rice Krispies
it's a
in
bar.
it. It's a bar. Yeah.
It's been discontinued. I'm pretty sure.
No. You can still get whatchamacallits.
There might have been.
Silk Road.
I don't think there's pretzels, but there was. Yeah. Anyway, it's
all
still,
kinds of shit.
That's my favorite because it had
Those
that like
were very
peanut
good.
butter, but it also had Krispies in it, so that was good. My least favorite candy that I got, there was two instances where I got a toothbrush on Halloween, and that house was banned from now on. Like
those taste like crap.
You know, and then I would say my runner-up would be like the wax bottles.
Oh,
Have you guys ever had wax bottles?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember those.
It's candy corn with less flavor.
no! Well, like, I don't think you're even supposed to.
In it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat the outside of it. You just like bite off the wax and you go like that.
USA, USA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone like candy corn?
I kind of like candy corn.
I'm not a big fan.
All right, Ty does.
So
I kind of garbage
Okay.
disposaled it as a kid. Just like it's there, so whatever.
like, are we
literally
talking?
put it in the garbage. Not kidding.
Are we talking? Like, okay, last year I got dollar store candy corn, which clearly has been like in a bag for 5.5 years.
It all has. It ages.
Well, you know, but if you get fresh ass candy corn, like the kind that yields to the bite, you know, the kind that doesn't. It's not
right
like
from the farmer.
Fresh from right off the stalk.
here at Hidden Acres, we have our candy corn fresh, just like God intended.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, no, fresh candy corn I think is really
Okay.
good.
I don't think I've ever had it, so I'd try it.
Well, I mean, I don't think too many people have because most candy corn you get is like 5 years old from the dollar
you have
store.
to age it on the shelf.
Either that or it's been in a bowl in your grandma's house for like 7 years. You know,
Yeah,
like,
it just keeps
have
on
some
bringing back the same
candy,
bowl.
Ryan. It's your favorite.
Honorable mention: Tootsie Rolls fucking suck.
What?
I like Tootsie Rolls.
did you
It's the
just
same
say?
problem.
It's not.
Well, okay,
90%
again,
wax. It has no flavor.
Half of them were produced in 1973.
Yeah, fresh Tootsie Rolls. You get some.
Where are you
fresh
getting
Tootsie-
these?
You gotta go to like a candy shop that's not.
Ty's got the
Shitty.
fresh candy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Fuck.
I was just thinking something funny but horrible. What if the Myanmar government was ethnically cleansing the Rohingya Muslims because they like almond joy hormones?
Well, there's that Aki left-hand turn.
So the UN's just like, explain your genocidal actions. They like mounds. They can't live in our country anymore. Go over to Bangladesh. I'm not condoning what you're
Why
doing.
not Burkina Faso?
Okay. So now that we got that out of our system,
All right. Yeah.
so a lot of stuff has happened since. Believe it or not, a lot of stuff has happened since last we spoke. First off, we put out a brand new music video again. We put out the music video for Tormentor,
Yeah.
which was cool. Took me a long ass time to do.
And then what came out?
Tormentor?
Like right after you got done doing Tormentor? Like didn't the program to have you do space things come
yeah.
out,
Okay.
like-
So the funny thing was, so I was at the end of Tormentor, right? The spaceship. If you haven't seen it, pause this and go watch it right now. At the end of Tormentor, the spaceship with the buzzsaw goes into the Earth, and it breaks it apart. And the way that you do that in a 3D modeling program is in the 3D modeling program that I've got, is you have to have a sphere that's already been cracked and so that you can take it and tell the program to multi-piece expand it. Well, I wanted to have a sphere that was cracked in random ways so that it wasn't equally cracked, but the only sphere that I had was equally cracked. So if you look really closely, as it's so if you look really closely, right, as it's cracking apart, all of the things are quite equal. And it just doesn't look quite all that good.
I don't know, Aki.
I also had to do
Oh no!
I also had to do 5 separate layers just to get, you know,
Can't think of that reminds me of.
just I know. So I had to do 5 separate layers to get like the clouds, to get the continents, to get the inside, you know, so that as it cracked apart, it wasn't just blackness, that it was like magma. And then you gonna be okay over there?
God damn it!
You didn't be feeling your butt before you sat on that.
Yep. So as soon as I exported the damn.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. As soon as I exported the damn
What do
thing.
you mean, Aki? Sorry.
As soon as I exported the damn thing, Video Copilot came out with a free all-in-one plugin to make like fully awesome like planets.
Oh, fuck.
You know, like a press one button and you have a wonderful looking planet that's like, you know, 4K amazing quality, blah blah blah, and you can do light changes and sphere distortion and it's like, okay, cool, fuck me, whatever. But anyway, everything else came out good. I think people really seem to like this one. I think compared to the other one, we had a big view count jump. I think we had like 1,200 views in the first 7 days or something like that. So it was pretty good.
Holograms sell.
Yeah, right. Space and holograms.
Imagine if we mix sex with holograms.
Ooh, sexograms.
Bound to happen.
Yeah.
Sex of halls.
So that came out. We hit $1,000 a month on our Patreon. Woo! Skull! Thank you. Squirrel. Thank you to everybody out there on our Patreon, supporting us and hitting this milestone. Frankly, so you know, I'll say like our goal for the year, where we're like, oh guys, maybe we could do this, maybe we could make it happen, was to get $750 a month. Was our goal, like by the end of 2018? Wouldn't it be nice if we could get $750 a month? And just like you're gonna smash that like button, right, Aki? Smash that like button. Yeah, just like you're gonna do that.
Talk
You guys,
about what we hate about some YouTubers.
yeah, you guys smashed our goal.
Smash that like button.
And you smashed that
Hit
support
subscribe.
button, and you hit
Like
subscribe,
and subscribe.
and you hit that bell to let us know when. Yeah. But anyway, you guys just destroyed it, so that was amazing. So thank you for that.
Imagine like in the future, like, oh my god, I don't know how much would we make a month if we could have roadies.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You know, that's kind of like our
lifting all our
mantra.
stuff.
That's our mantra. Is like
Aki.
our mantra is like someday roadies, someday roadies.
As soon as we get roadies, I'm
No,
getting
just pull out a baby
fucking like
like-
MPEG SVT.
Yep. You're gonna get. We're gonna get roadies, and you're gonna get a fridge. You're gonna do the fridge, and yeah.
Yep.
So with the
It's haunted.
with the $1,000 a month came another stretch goal, which was monthly Words of Fang videos, and I put out the first one on posters. People seem to really dig that. People have been sharing it around, and there's been a lot of great interaction with that.
I liked it.
It was a new editing style for me. I mean, we were talking about this. Like, I hadn't really edited a video like that.
ADD style.
ADD style, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird. There's like a real kind of ebb and flow and a way to make it work, so that it feels natural.
You did well. The 9 minutes like flew by.
Yep.
And it was funny and informative.
Yep. I specifically bought 36 fake mustaches for that video. Only used one, but I have 35 left.
No, I took one.
Oh,
I
34.
pointed out my
Please tell me
monitor.
one is used car salesman.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of different styles. I got a Fu Manchu fake mustache. I got like a goatee kind of a thing. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot more fake mustaches going on in these videos. It's gonna be awesome. So those are coming out every month. We got I'm taking stock of like what we're giving out on the Patreon right now, and it's like we got an acoustic cover every month. We got a Words of Fang every month. We got a Fangs Little Beer Club every 2 weeks. We've got a TRIDENTCast every month. We've got bootlegs coming out after every show. Like, man, you guys are getting a deal. I'm
Yeah,
telling you what.
short of Brett coming over and giving you a haircut. I mean, it's
I only use trimmers.
Yep.
And
You
how
have
many-
you have one choice. Deal with it.
Yep.
Trimmers and razor blades. That's it.
That's pretty metal. So.
And how many bands release a song only for Patreon members? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
That too. Fire and Sand came out just for you guys.
nerd.
Nerd Pumpkin.
We're like the Jeff Bezos of metal bands. He
Yeah.
wants to make it irresponsible to not have Amazon Prime. We're gonna make it irresponsible for you to not be on
Flashbacks
the Trident Patreon.
That's right.
Needs a mustache.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta get a fake mustache on that guy. So yeah, so we did that, yeah, we've been kind of busy behind the scenes. We're working on, I've got a bunch of Words of Fang videos in production. We got a bunch of other stuff in production. We're working on a super secret cover that we're not going to tell you about. It's going to be awesome, I think, or you'll hate it. One of the two. You'll either love it or hate it. I think a lot of people will love it. I think there's a lot of... It's not intrinsically a metal song, so I think there's going to be a lot of interesting crossover.
Is this the one we're debuting at Patreon?
No. That's another secret.
Oh, I don't know which one we're
Hint,
talking
it
about.
was your idea.
What? No, it was my idea. Oh, his idea was the one for Patreon.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're saying too much.
We got all sorts of stuff coming out. What else?
Doing that Patreon.
But yeah, don't tell them. We got all sorts of stuff coming out.
We won't tell you till the night before, and we got to practice it.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. What else? We're going on the road in January with the Sound of Thunder. We're doing a southern tour. We're gonna hit North Carolina, South Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia. And we are gonna be in Cincinnati on the Thursday before, not with the Sound of Thunder, but with our friends Automaton and Siege Lord. Just confirmed today, baby. Woo! At Urban Artifact Brewery.
Oh, same place?
Same place.
With the pillar.
With the pillar and the church and the youth group. It's
That
going to
beer
be...
was so good, though.
We're going to have a lot of
beer
beer.
was
It's going to
in
be
the
amazing.
storage closet of a dressing room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And the outdoor fire pit. So...
That's not
Was it
Cincy
five?
Power Fest.
They did have Cincy Powerfest there this last year, but that is not Cincy Powerfest. We are also playing Cincy Powerfest in May.
We get 2 trips to Cincinnati this year?
yeah.
We got 2 trips to Cincinnati,
Scout
baby.
and Chili!
Yep, it's gonna.
WK.
He's gonna be making that face the whole.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, the whole time.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Really showing my age with that one.
Yep. Well, okay, enough of this good news crap, right? Let's get to the segment that people want to see, the people want to hear, the people want to know about. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for the spookiest, most hair-raising, most bone-shattering, most chilling and
Set of advice
Most
ever.
most earwaxing ever.
ear-waxing pictures on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite, my favorite, his favorite, everybody's favorite, Aki's cat
tiger.
picture of the month.
So for this month, it's a terrible twofer.
Oh!
I have a Halloween-oriented one, and then I have a regular one. So the Halloween
For those who
one,
don't celebrate.
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly, for the non-religious folks. So for the Halloween one, I got this black cat here, and then a very orange, ambery beer.
Yeah,
And the black one has
Gato
like
Negro.
nice big like
Used to have a
ear
cup that said
tufts.
yeah.
So I like the black and orange contrast. And then my more mainstream cat picture, oh my god. Normally I'm not a fan of like just white or just black cats, but this white cat, man, his posture is perfect. He rocks the bow tie.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazingly. Yeah.
Do you know? Do you have any backstory on any of these cats?
Oh, I don't. I just liked how they looked.
Okay. The Halloween themed cat is sitting in front of a beer called El Gato Negro, or maybe Juicy Bits. I can't tell which one, but
It's Spanish for the Gato Negro.
Exactly.
Gato Negro.
I take it they put their adjectives after the noun then.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah. There you go. Any other
don't know
comments
what
on these cat pictures, Aki? Is that it?
Just like that,
That black cat is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
gorgeous cat.
yeah. The black cat definitely looks like a little more chill. Like the white one looks like, he gets his shit done. Like he has a TP. What do you call it? TPS report? He has it on your desk like 10 minutes
PC
before.
load letter.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, he's climbing up the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
And then he can't climb back down again. He's really scared about it. Cat jokes.
Yes.
So
Wait, I thought you were going to use
the harmonica. I don't
Oh, okay.
the pitch pipe. I
The
didn't
melodica.
The melodica.
Well,
You better, Brett. What do you better do?
Wait, what? Who's Brett? Me? Oh, Jesus.
Who's Brett?
All right, we were talking about it before, guys. Oh,
You gotta pick a camera. It's gonna be
what
the
just
new.
happened?
It's gonna be the new segment, the Brent drunk. You better. Let me tell you about what you better do.
all right, guys, this is for real.
Don't drink dollar store candy. It's terrible.
That is some good advice. But all right, you heathens that it's Halloween time and you don't put candy outside for trick-or-treaters.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you? Huh?
So
We liked it. We talked about our favorite candies already.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go out and get the best candy from Kmart or Shopko or Costco or
Value Village.
Cost Cutters, wherever you want to
You
go.
know.
Steal it off your neighbor's porch.
Yeah.
Anything.
Give those kitties something that's going to make them sick for a week. They're going to love it. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
That's good advice.
You better.
That makes me think, like, when you're a kid, at least when I was a kid, I wasn't, like, obsessed with architecture, but, like, part of the fun was going to different houses. And sometimes,
Yeah.
one house would have, like, jack-lanterns that looked like almost all lights are off, and you'd knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and, like, surprise, there are people here, and, it's a cash cow of candy and whatnot. But, like, so my apartment building, and it's, like, 4 stories, basically apartment management put all these posters on everyone's door saying, like, if we want to participate in Halloween, like, we can we can cut out this icon of, like, a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Kids can knock and get food, candy. But to me, like, I appreciate the effort, but it's nowhere as fun as going to a neighborhood and going to different houses. Like, can you imagine being, like, the mom with the kid being like, all right, let's go to 4A. They gave you this. Okay, now let's go to 5A.
Well, and you
like,
can't really decorate
Right.
outside of
It's
a
just like
apartment.
Yeah, it's just like a plain monolithic hallway with doors that all look the same. Like,
Yep.
Piles of rotting pumpkins.
yeah, it's just like part of the fun is like even exploring like new neighborhoods and being like, wow, that last neighborhood, like, it sucked. They only had 3 houses, but this neighborhood, like, all but one was like, yeah.
My
Yep.
pleasure.
I just realized we have band practice on
Yes.
Halloween.
We do.
Yeah, it's really
So-
unfortunate.
Ain't no kids getting candy in my neighborhood. I'm an asshole.
Well, maybe like
You can put a bowl out, but you
That
can't
would
trust the
actually be
kids.
all 5 of us. Yeah.
That's okay
hey,
because
oh, sorry.
I'm gonna get enough candy to cover all of you guys, and we're gonna give away.
How are you
a
gonna
ton.
distribute it?
Well, I'm just gonna have Heidi man the door while we're at band practice.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna.
Heidi will.
Heidi will man the door. Yeah, when I like.
Woman the door.
Oh yeah, woman the door. Person the door. When so like Brett said, Halloween's my favorite holiday, and I do not skimp on the candy. I go candy every year, and even the years where we had 1 or 2 trick-or-treaters where we were in a terrible neighborhood where no kids came around, I still bought boatloads of candy, because just in case. Because you don't want to be that guy who, like, buys one thing of fun-sized Snickers, and then you get overrun by children. You're like, I'm out of candy. And all the kids are like, oh, you're the worst. You're
Yeah,
worse
your
than
fucking
Hitler.
house.
And then you start giving them cat food.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Eat this; it's good for you.
Hey,
I
maybe,
got some
like,
leftover sausage in the fridge. Do you want that?
we often play pretty loud. Like, maybe they'll hear some of the metal from when they go to the door.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I also set up strobe lights, and I set up fog machines, and I turn on all my, like, motion sensor scary stuff. I make the kids work for it. For the longest time, we have kids across the street. Our neighbors have kids. for the longest time they were scared to like come to the door, and I was like, yeah, that's right, you are. You gotta work for that.
Hey, wouldn't it be really funny though if it weren't really because it's scary, but because you had flashing epileptic lights and they had epilepsy?
That would be. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it if they had epilepsy, but yes.
They were scared of it for a different reason.
Exactly. So since we're on the topic of spooky,
It's not scary. I have a condition.
That's what they all say.
spooky, scary Halloween stuff, let's do our spooky cast tradition. Let's talk.
This is tradition too.
Let's do our spooky cast tradition. Let's talk about the scariest, the most hair-raising things that we have encountered, played, watched, etc. this year. Aki, you want to go first?
It's almost like we played Fall Down in the Meat Hall first or
Well,
something.
Yeah.
We did have a very terrifying but also exciting night recently after a show.
Oh boy.
After a show we played. But anyway, that aside, boy, well, Ty and I both saw Hereditary,
Yes.
and I think it really is deserving of all the praise it gets. You know, I think some people might not find it the most scary, but it's just like the atmosphere is so great, and it's such a, oh man, it's just like the whole film has this dark shroud over it, and it's like stressful to watch.
Mhm.
Like there's scenes where you're just like you really get so involved with the characters. Like I forgot the name of the main actress who plays the mom, but like she has such a good job that you like take on vicariously the stress she's feeling that's happening to her family. And the guy that directed it, I think this is his directorial debut for like a full motion film.
Yeah.
And oh my god, there's not like much in the way of jump scares, but he's great at like showing, like doing these beautiful big wide shots, and you don't notice till you've looked at this single shot for multiple seconds that there's something in the corner or whatnot.
Mhm.
And he doesn't play some kind of music or anything. You just see the shot, you know, maybe this kid in a bed or whatnot, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck is in the corner?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
nice thing is that he plays with focus and lighting. You
Yeah.
know, like so the shot that Aki was talking about, the kid in the bed is sort of lit up, and your focus kind of goes to him, and they stay on that shot for so long.
Yeah.
That eventually you kind of like look up and just for a split second you're like, oh my god, and there's not, it's not a jump scare, it's not anything like that. You know, there's just like something there.
The most like terrifying, I won't ruin it for people, a terrifying scene for me was very early in a film, and it's just an image you see, and
Yeah.
it stuck with me like how terrifying
Oof.
it was.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, so that was definitely that's the one that definitely like comes to mind.
Are you talking about the grandma?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
yeah.
I don't want to even think about it. It's so terrifying.
Oh
yeah,
man.
But
Aki and
it's
I,
really good.
we talked about this at length, right? And I think we both agree that Hereditary is one of the top 10 scariest movies we've seen in the last 10 years. Like, it is hands down in my top 10.
Because I think we've been a little disappointed. Ty and I love horror films, and I remember we saw The Void, and I love 80s horror films, and we were both a little disappointed by that one.
Yeah, The Void wasn't all that great.
But yeah, that would probably be, I think, probably both of our top ones in the last year.
Do you guys have any spooky stuff you want to talk about?
I, for the first time, saw Human Centipede,
Oh.
unfortunately.
I don't want to ever
Oh.
watch that.
There's a burger
can't-
named after that at the burger place.
There was?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Uh-huh.
But
I think it was a human scented peach, and it was
Oh.
like a peach shake.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, so how'd that work out for you?
It wasn't as... I don't know.
I think
You
it's
know,
a
I
low
don't
budget
know.
film. They didn't really show much, right?
No. Well, I mean, Yeah, I mean they don't show like a much, but I mean you get the idea.
You get the horrible.
But I don't know how there's 2 more to follow.
More like the dysentery centipede.
Yeah, all the septic that you could ever want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I mean that was an experience. It wasn't necessarily scary, just like traumatizing a little bit, disturbing in a way.
Yeah, I have not actually watched a single scary movie since the last time we did this. Sorry.
I haven't seen a fiction scary movie, but I watched documentaries on Vietnam and cancer, and those were horrifying.
Yeah.
But we don't have to belabor
can
at that point.
Excellent.
Um,
Well, I one of the things that I've watched a few scary things, but one of the scary things that I've played a couple of scary games actually, and the one that I could talk about at length is Hollow Knight, which if anybody is into either, Metroidvania games with a little atmosphere or anything like that, man, Hollow Knight is such a good game. That game's incredible. Like, hands down, amazing, incredible, amazing game. Even if you're just not into spooky stuff. I mean, it's just as a Metroidvania game, holy cow. And it's so big. I think I paid like $15 for it, and Heidi and I have been we've probably put like 40 hours into this thing already, and we haven't unlocked everything at all. And it is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly challenging. Like, it's... I can't say enough good things about Hollow Knight.
Dark Souls frustrating.
No. Well, it's not Dark Souls frustrating. It's a little bit less frustrating than Dark Souls, but it's like on that cusp of being like, God damn it! Oh! I gotta try it again, kind of a thing. It definitely takes some dexterity to play this game. But it's so rewarding, and it just like Metroidvania, as you unlock different areas, the more abilities you get, and it's just so well done. The whole theme of the world is sort of like bug themed. So, you're fighting other bugs. You're in like villages made of like it's sort of like if a medieval world was created by bugs, essentially.
I'm glad to hear it because I bought that game actually, a Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
And that one and Shovel Knight I still haven't played because I need to decide on a controller.
Oh, you gotta just play it.
I know.
Just do it on your keyboard. It is
really good things about
so
them.
good. Like honest to God, I think that game is probably in my top 3 this year.
Wow.
Like that, Breath of the Wild, and there's probably one other one that and probably the new Mario. But Shovel Knight is man, that Shovel Knight might be better than the new Mario. Like, it's that good. It's really, really, really good, and it's kind of spooky. There's a lot of like mystery to
Hollow
it.
Knight?
Hollow Knight. Yep.
I just want to say, I feel like it actually made me think. Talking about how it's a Castleloid type of game. I really feel like.
You mean Metroidvania?
I mean, I hear both
Castleloid?
things. Metroidvania, Castleloid. I actually have heard people use that term.
Castleloid.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, fair enough.
But,
Is that a thing? Email us, lordsofthetrash@gmail.com. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
But,
/Castleloid.
there's some SNES games that I feel like really aged better than others, and I feel like the original Super Metroid is one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. Just the atmosphere I love. It starts out almost like a horror game.
Mm-hmm.
You arrive at this lab, you're always dead scientists, this thing's been stolen, etc. And just, I love how you arrive at that planet, Zebes or whatever, and there's no one around. And it's like the first 15, 20 or so minutes you're going down into the bowels of this planet, and
Until you trip the alarm.
exactly, until you trip the alarm, and it just like, and then that moment when you leave that room after getting the ball turning into a ball ability or whatever, and all of a sudden there's all these creatures everywhere.
Yeah.
And then that's that oh shit moment.
Yep.
And just like, oh my god, like just the atmosphere and pacing so good there. Like to me, that's one of the best, like, first 20, 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
Yeah.
Good call.
The other is
I've been trying to think of this one game that's really scary that
Oh, okay.
I can't fucking... Dead Space.
yeah, Dead Space. Yeah.
That's a fucking great one.
The
I
other.
like- oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I keep interrupting. I like Dead Space. I think the one problem I had with it is I feel like it did fall into horror movie tropes where you kept meeting people and then they would die immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
And they did that. I watched playthroughs of all 3 games. I'm a little bit of a chicken. I love horror movies, but I can't play the games. I always watch playthroughs where people play, like, they play through and they don't get hit once or whatnot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it fell too much into a whole, like, every time you meet someone they die immediately. And that took a bit... It's still a good game, but it took away from
Yeah.
the atmosphere and whatnot.
I just like that you have to, like, really search for, like, your ammo and everything that you
Yeah.
need. Like, it takes a lot of, like...
It was definitely survival on.
Yeah.
And it
Survival
turned
on
things
the
around where you can't... It's, moves away from the headshot.
Yep.
Instead of headshot, you take off the limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I really like Dead Space's environment.
Yeah.
It felt very survivally. It felt very, like, kind of suffocating. You're caught in this place. The thing I didn't like about it is it fell into the issue that happened with, like, Doom 3, where you, like, oh, there's a power up in the corner. I know the second I grab this power up, everything's gonna close down and all the enemies are gonna come out. That happened like 40 times, to the point where I was like, oh, there's a dead body in the corner. It's not gonna be dead for long.
Yeah.
What's the term for that? And the Dead Space games and Doom really relied on that, where, like, everything's done by triggers. You get an item, or you go in a certain spot.
Yeah, I
enemies
mean, I think
appear.
it's triggers. Yeah.
I forgot if it's that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wish they'd move away from that, where it's just like you said, when you grab this item,
No, it's coming out.
Yeah.
The other game that I've actually been playing very recently, which I've heard people just rave about, is Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, I've been watching a playthrough of that one.
And I have,
Biohazard, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been playing that. I've probably got a good 5-6 hours into it right now, and it's really good. Like, I was a big fan of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4. I played Resident Evil 5, and I kind of was like, oh, okay, they kind of jumped the shark a while ago. I think I'm done with Resident Evil. And this one really got back into, like, being really gritty and just, really, really, really gritty and sort of almost torture pornish.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
I wish I had some more puzzles.
Yeah.
I think one thing very cool about the game, guys, that I thought was a really cool innovation, and one of my favorite film critics, Chris Stuckman, who occasionally reviews video games, talked about is in this game, something very cool, a way that you learn secrets and whatnot, is you pick up VHS tapes and you put them into players, and when you watch the video, you enter the video. Like, you're basically playing what you're watching.
Yeah.
And in those videos, the videos all take place often several days or weeks before you came to this current area of the game. And in those videos, you get tips as to what you need to do.
Yeah. You can see people stashing stuff in different places.
Exactly. And that, I thought, was
That's
a
creative.
very cool element that Capcom did.
Yeah.
I if I had a criticism of that game, is it's a bit kind of like an on the rails type of game, and what I mean by that is that there's not quite the freedom that you have in, like, original Resident Evil games, where you can really go everywhere, back to the beginning of the game, all over this mansion. There's really specific places you go, and there's not a lot of freedom, or there's not, like, multiple ways to necessarily handle situation or whatnot.
Right.
I think that makes me think a game that I'm very excited for is they're redoing Resident Evil 2. And I don't know if you guys have played Resident Evil 2, but to me that's my favorite Resident Evil game. And I've been watching some playthroughs, and it looks like they changed the game a lot, but they also were very faithful to certain elements. I don't know if you've watched any of the
I haven't watched any of the playthroughs of the new one, but I played through the old one. Like,
you
all
need
the
to
way
see
through.
some of the we need to watch a couple minutes. It looks phenomenal, and I was hesitant. I normally don't like remakes of things. I'm really excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, few other. I guess unless anybody has any other spooky things to add. Unfortunately, we didn't have a big giant list like we did that maybe the first year. But then again, I think the first year we kind of like went through our top 20 best horror films, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those haven't really changed all that much. I would add Hereditary to that list, absolutely. And if you haven't played Hollow Knight yet, drop everything, go buy Hollow Knight. Is such a good deal.
Put down the meth pipe.
Get that meth pipe out of your mouth and go get some Hollow Knight, and then
Get out the hair clippers, jerk.
with the money left over, go and put it towards our Patreon, patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. Most of the people watching this are already on the Patreon, so thank you for that. So a few things that had happened since last we spoke. We opened for
Green Death.
well, I'm talking before that. We opened
sorry.
for Cloven Hoof and
Vicious Rumors.
and Viscous Rumors. they were quite sludgy. They were viscous. But they were really nice guys. We had a fun time at that. Got to see our buddies Van Lade. They were opening the shows. It was
so much
us and
energy.
Van Lade. And, oh man, they
Yeah.
were super
The
fun.
live show, man.
I went to Chicago 3 weekends in a row. First to see the Proto Men, which is right behind you. If you grab the okay, yes. So yeah, right. Okay, so I went to see the Proto Men. Now we opened for the Proto Men back in 2013, and to this day, that is my favorite show we have ever played in our band's existence. I'm a huge fan of the Proto Men, and I now have a vinyl player. So I picked up the $50 Proto Men Ginormo book, complete with stage direction, complete with liner notes and dialogue in between the song and that kind of stuff. And Aki looks at this thing. I get it home, and I'm like, Aki, check this out. And he's like, what is it, a pop-up book? Hell yes, it's a motherfucking pop-up book. That's right.
Nice.
What?
So yeah, it is also a pop-up book, just on this page. But I mean, who
Oh,
else
yes,
has
it's
a double
real.
vinyl with a pop-up book
Oh,
inside?
yes, it's real.
Yep.
Yeah. So I've been loving listening to this. That's been great. After that, Aki and I both went the next weekend. Oh no, it was the weekend after that one. So the next weekend was Unleash the Archers, and I got to hang out with the Archers and with Helion Prime, and very small world. Mary Zimmer, who's Brian's old vocalist from Luna Mortis, was singing for Helion Prime on their tour, which was like crazy. So got to see all of
Small
them.
world.
Yeah. Brought a bunch of mead. Funny story, Jeremy, the bass player for Helion Prime, lost his luggage. They had apparently put it on a like a roof rack. And, night number 5 of their tour, they're driving through like the Arizona desert. And apparently his backpack just goes whew, and comes loose and falls and just flies out on the top of the roof. And nobody notices. And so 300 miles later, they go to take their stuff off of the roof, and Jeremy's backpack is gone. And luckily, it only had clothes inside of it, but he had no clothes for like the 22 days left on the tour. So he was like wearing merch clothes. He was borrowing other people's clothes. So I brought them a bunch of Scratch and Dent shirts for Jeremy. Got to hang out with
Free advertising.
yeah, right. Got to hang out with Brittany and the Archers folks, and they're just national treasures. They're not our national treasures, but they are goddamn national treasures. They're amazing people, and they knocked it out of the park. Absolutely. Quick funny story. As we were driving down to Chicago, we saw a van with a trailer, and Michelle was with us. I'm like, Michelle, it's Band Dudes. It's totally Band Dudes. She's like, where? And so we saw this big trailer, 15-passenger van, and we roll up next to him, and we're like, I wonder if they're in a metal band. So we roll up next to him, and we're all like kind of looking over at the driver, like, oh, what does he look like? And sure enough, he's got a hoodie on, and he's got a Dance with the Dead hoodie on, right? And so I'm like, oh shit, Dance with the Dead. I love Dance with the Dead. And so I look at him, and he sees us looking at him, and we're all like, hi, And then I roll down my window, and I give him one of the roll down your window things. And we're going.
Cars don't have these anymore.
I know, but everybody knows what this means.
Yeah.
So we're going 70 miles an hour down the freeway, and I'm like, "Hey man, nice hoodie!" And he's like, thanks, you know, and we're screaming back and forth. I'm like, are you in a band? Yeah. Is it a metal band? And he kind of like looks back. He's like, yeah, kinda. What style of metal? What style of metal? So I'm screaming back and forth at this guy. And he's like, you know, you can't really describe the metal. And he grabs his shirt and he lifts up the Dance with the Dead logo and he points at it. And he's like, and I'm like, yeah, Dance with the Dead. He's like, no. And I'm like, wait, you're Dance with the Dead? And he's like, yeah. And at that point, Michelle starts to speed up. And so I'm like, and he sees me go like that, go like, you know, as we speed away. And he just like breaks out laughing. And I'm like, Michelle, what the fuck are you doing? Slow back down. Holy shit, it's Dance with the Dead. And so, you know, we're screaming back and forth. And apparently they were playing Chicago like a mile away from where Unleash the Archers was playing. And Small World, Unleash the Archers had intro music before they came out, and it was Dance with the Dead. So it was kind of funny. I sent him a message on Facebook like, hey man, I was the guy who was yelling at you on the freeway going 70 miles an hour.
Did they respond?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So went there for Unleash the Archers, and they were amazing. If you don't have Apex yet, what are you doing? This is probably my album of the year for 2017, like hands down. This was amazing. And then the next and last weekend for my Chicago 3 in a row was with Aki here. We went and saw FM84, which is I don't know, our second favorite synthwave band. Would you say?
Yeah.
Maybe
boy,
third.
That's such a hard one.
Second or third.
Second or third.
Because for me, it's the Midnight's number one. And I'd say either Time Cop or FM84.
I was going to say Time Cop 1980, FM84. Boy. Yeah, those three. Maybe I really like Calyx. But yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. So you want to talk about, like, what happened?
Yeah, so we had a really good experience seeing the Midnight.
Really good.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it on a podcast, but there's just a lot of real-time instrumentation. Like, you know, the singer was very sung, and sometimes he played guitar, and like there was a saxophonist who played saxophone solos, and the Danish guy, I think he's Danish, and he actually played the drums and synth parts, like the leads and everything. And you know, going into this, it's just one guy, and you know, I don't think Tyna expected the same level of involvement, but unfortunately, the singer sings on like, I don't know, maybe like 4 of the songs he does. Had, I guess, gotten sick and lost his voice, so he wasn't there. So they had to do vocal tracks, and then the artist FM84, he's obviously a skilled composer, but he didn't really play any of the songs. He just like would hit a button, and like rock out awkwardly over his synthesizer or whatnot, and
he kind of like had a chord, you know. He was like, you know, so he was kind of just like one chord at a time instead of him like playing the leads and stuff like that.
And I think part of the fun of like seeing a band live is that they make some mistakes or they diverge a little bit from like the solos you normally do, or you know, Brett, I'm sure you don't play the exact same drum fill every time. I'm sure Brian and I don't play the solos note for note, not all of them necessarily at least. Mm-hmm. It's like just like it kind of was disappointing to be like, well, we're hearing all the songs as if they were just on loudspeakers, and
it kind of felt like a press play concert.
Yeah.
The only saving grace was they had some really kick-ass lasers, like that whole liquid sky effect. They had that going the whole time, and it was really cool. But you know, and I guess another saving grace is they got done. They finished at like 11:20.
Yeah.
Like I thought we were gonna be out and driving until like 5 a.m, but we ended up getting home at 2, which was really, really, really nice.
Yeah. And we saw the openers were Bad Dreamers, and you know they're okay, but definitely like the main guy in that band, he's a good singer, and he was actually a good enough sport to sing on 1 or 2 of the FM84 songs. Yeah. So
you know, all in all, it was okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do it. Would I go out again for FM84? I don't know. Maybe if it wasn't in Chicago again. I go to the Midnight any day.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
And Midnight made some big mistakes, but it was still fun, and it was
super fun.
engaging experience. And I think when I don't know if you guys are like me, but I love guitar solos, and a lot of times I'll type in a band or whatnot and be like, oh, what's it going to sound like live or whatnot. And there's a balance where I want the live version to sound a little bit different than what's on the album, but I want them to play those key licks that make the song, the solo, what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been joined on the Spooky Cast by our very own Black Cat Michi. Oh, spooky. All right, and then the last, the last concert I went to since last we've spoken was actually Rip in Peace.
That hit my toe.
Was our good friend Thor, and he autographed my LP here. To Ty, thanks for your super vocals, John Thor. And I got that's what he sounds like. He talks like this. I got to come up and sing Metal Calling with John and Ted from Dawn of Valor, and they're playing in Thor now. This is Thor's second album, Keep the Dogs Away. And you guys, I didn't tell you guys this, and John, I hope it's okay to let people know, but Thor was actually, maybe there's a couple drinks in him, who knows. He was actually seriously considering making kind of hanging up his hammer, and not
picking up the trident.
Well, not specifically. He was thinking about hanging up the hammer, but passing it along to a newer, younger Thor, and he actually had me in mind to become the new Thor.
You look pretty similar.
I mean,
to
look,
this guy.
right? I
Yeah.
got the pecs. I got, I mean, I don't have dogs yet, but I could buy some dogs. But
Steal my hair and you're all set.
yeah, right. Obviously, a legacy act from this late 70s, early 80s with no original members. We didn't think that would probably go over very well. So, thankfully we said thanks, but we're gonna let Thor just kind of keep being Thor. After all, I mean, those are big shoes to fill.
I heard they have a good stage show.
Thor has an amazing stage show. Those guys are really, really fun. And funny story, they actually were playing Madison the night we were in FM 84.
Whoa, really?
They would have stayed here, but we were down in Chicago and we couldn't put them up. They're playing the Ancient Seance Fest or something like that.
Whoa.
But anyway, so that was Thor.
Ooh.
Aki.
Can I run an idea by you guys?
Yep.
And the people watching?
Yeah.
I was wondering, some band pages, like websites, when you go to the band, they have each of the members has a different page. Where they have the member and they're like, yeah. And then they have
Are you talking about Facebook pages for different members?
No. On our band website.
Oh, okay.
And where you go to a band and then you get to choose the vocals and the guitar.
Yeah. And then one of them's
page,
yeah.
Yeah. Each of the pages have them this, and then it has their likes and dislikes and their
Vital
equipment
stats.
and their vital stats
blood type.
and whatnot.
Oh, that would be kind of cool for us to almost
I'm
do
5'10"
a
and a half.
card, our an action card for us. All of our abilities and our strengths and weaknesses.
Like a Magic the Gathering card for everybody.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think of that? I think it's cool when you I like when I go to a band website and I can see each of the individual members, as opposed to the generic thing where they're like, this band brings a new thing to this. Ever since blah blah blah, they've been rocking out and doing this. They continue to push the boundaries of what's blah blah blah.
You've never heard a band like Ancient Signals.
Right.
Yes, I have.
I like when I can just skip to the guitarist and be like, oh, okay, cool.
Aki's reading is the vocalist, but okay, skip. The bassist, no, I don't care. No, drums are nope. Lead guitar, ooh, tell me more.
Yeah.
So okay, what do you think? Should we add a individual members section to the website?
So
Email
when you go
us.
to band, it splits off into 5, and there's
we'll still have our bio, but you can.
Oh,
you can
right.
also click
The bio's there, but then
you can also click on individual
you have 5
members.
little boxes for each.
We could
of
do
the
guitars
members.
and then Misk. Just 2 sections.
Oh my God.
We'll have two big sections for Aki and Brian, and then the rest of us.
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous members.
Oh my god.
All right, what do you think? Do you think that's a good idea? Should we do individuals? Should we do guitar and miscellaneous? Email us, lordstheTrident@gmail.com.
I gotta go.
All right.
Drums, likes loud sounds, dislikes soft sounds.
All right.
Sorry.
Brett, I'm going to let you have the last word of this spooky, scary SPOOKYCAST.
Don't be an asshole. Feed the kids sugar and stuff.
Good night.